test for us. Oh, hello. Good morning. Hi. Hi, everybody. Can you hear us? Please don't say no.
I hope so.
Because I'm gonna cry. There's always that part, audio between, audio issues are just the bane of my goddamn existence, I swear. Everybody, can you
Maybe nobody's here.
hear us at all? Hello? Is anybody out there? Maybe they've all gone to get coffee. I don't know. Hello?
I don't know. Are we all alone?
I don't know. Maybe it's just you and me. Maybe it's just...
Maybe.
That's it. I don't know. Anyway. We'll find out. Either we're going to have a really crud video to put up on YouTube. Hey babe, morning. Or or not. I don't know. Hi, Fair's there.
There's
Hi.
Fair.
Can you hear us? Is there noise?
Yes, can you?
Please tell me. Please tell me you can hear me. That would be good. Yes. Okay. Is the levels okay? Because apparently I was a little low last week. Levels are good. Nisey sounds good. Okay. Can you hear this one?
Coffee is my blood.
And is that level okay? Yes? All good? Okay. One quick test. Oh, there you go. That's why I'm just going to do the intro really fast. I just want to check the levels because apparently it was really a lot louder last week. So I just want to see if I need to bring it down again. It's okay, Zaya. We're not quite starting. How was the level? Was the level okay? Is okay. Okay. Okay.
Now, see, I heard the coffee is my blood when you were live.
Okay. Oh.
And I could kind of hear the intro, but it was broken up a little bit. But it always does that on the call. Now,
I don't know.
Last week there was a mysterious echo that appeared on the outro and on the intro. It kind of sounded like it was in a stadium echo. I don't know if you did that on purpose or not, but I was like, well, we've got enough bullshit that we're dealing with right now, so I wasn't going to bring it up at first.
No, there shouldn't be an echo on the outro unless I've done something, which is possible. Good morning, Cuzzy. Cuzzy's here. Everyone say hello. You can't see him because he won't get up on my lap yet, but he's like, hey, Dad's awake. And I'm like, yeah, I've already fed you. Like, you don't even need to go to your father because I fed you. But he's like, I'm gonna check with Dad because I might get more food.
Of course.
Yeah.
No, Russell said it sounded like you looped the audio on it, but I was like, I don't know. I said, first let's just work on getting the MP3 thing sorted, and then we'll deal with that.
Oh, don't even talk
One crisis at a time.
Goddamn website, I swear to God. Stress free. Anyway, okay, I think we've got everything. Yes, Kitty. Where is he? He's gone. He's gone back over to the door to probably park himself right there, waiting for Execute to come back in and be like, meow,
Probably.
meow, I want food. And I'll be like, yeah, babe, I've already fed him. Like, he's already fed. Which I didn't tell him, but oops. Oh well, when he comes back in, I guess. All right, well, it's time. So let's do this. Everyone ready? I'm ready. Even if you're not ready, we're just gonna do it anyway. Okay. All right. In 3, 2, 1.
Whatever it is you enjoy about the World of Warcraft, we have a challenge for you. Adventure. Crafting.
Flowers.
This is the WoW Challenges podcast. And here's your host, Leeta.
Hello and welcome to the WoW Challenges podcast. This is episode 284. Today is Saturday, January 22 of 2022. What a day. Or if you're in Aussie land, obviously it's January 23. But you know, 2202, 2022. There's a lot of twos. Is 2 a lucky number?
I don't know, but that is a lot of twos. That's definitely screwing with my head today.
There is a lot of twos. I feel like, you know, like in some cultures, there are those numbers that are very lucky. I feel like... Let's not put that out there. Anyway, Murphy's Law. But
Let's
anyway.
wait till February 2nd, because then we'll have... or February 22nd, so
Yes.
it'll be 20222... I don't know.
Anyway,
That'll be
there's
way
a
too
lot.
many twos.
There's a lot, but as you can hear, Nisey's here. Hi, Nisey. Nisey's here with a
Hello.
new cute little what do we call it?
Lawn flamingos. We are embracing
Lawn
the lawn flamingo this year.
flamingos. Yay! Exactly. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm Leeta. Hi. I'm here. But hi, Nisey. Thank you for being here this week. I thought it'd be a really good opportunity to have a chat and to catch up with you. So, very excited about this because, you know, you are the bloodthirsty queen. So, I need some more tips. Because I did not get out the big blood this week. It's been a bit of a week, but I did last week. So I need to pick your brain again. But yes, hence why Nisey is here. So which is good. So thank you.
Sorry, I was doing something real quick that didn't go through, so
It's all good.
push to talk and typing at the same time doesn't work.
It gets a bit like that, yes. So yes. Why is that? Anyway, I just realized for some reason that I mustn't have resized that photo. Screenshot. Good one, Leeta. Anyway, you know what? It's
Oh,
all
well.
good. It's all good. Note to self, because we know if Leeta does not write it down, it will get done. So, resize pick. I'm just gonna put that there. I thought I had, but obviously may not have.
You know,
so
it kind of just falls in with the way the rest of the week's gone, so that's okay.
It's been a bit like that. So anyway, look, you're here now, and
Yes, I'm here.
we're gonna have a bit of chat. And you know what? That's good because I have my coffee. I've got my notebook. I'm ready to take some bloodthirsty notes and find out all the things. So, how's bloodthirsty leveling going? Because I know at the end of the last year, you had so many that you had hit max, and you still had, I'm gonna say 6.
Yes.
Still, you had 6 that you were working on. So I want to know how's the bloodthirsties going?
Well, it's been a little slow. Life has completely kicked me in the teeth over here. So when I thought I was gonna have, you know, extra time to do stuff, that didn't end up happening, and I was like, right.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of had to scale back a little bit. The last 2 weeks, I haven't been able to level as many as I wanted to. I think I had to skip somebody last week just because time just didn't happen.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit slow because I've got the monk in Bastion right now,
Mm-hmm.
and Bastion's always a bit slow for me. I know Zaya pointed out some other places that weren't too bad, but I don't know those places that well. So just for my own safety net, I've decided to stay where I am because she's so squishy.
Yeah.
But I found a spot that's kind of working for her, but it doesn't give as much XP at the moment, so I'm like, eh.
So what spec are you on the monk? Just out of curiosity. So
Mistweaver.
okay.
I'm one of those people that if I have a healing spec and I can actually kill stuff sort of in a healing spec, I will. The only exception to that so far has been my paladin. I couldn't really kill anything in holy after like a level, and I was like, yeah, no. So the paladin went in ret, but she is in Mistweaver.
Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. No, just wanted to make sure because I suck at playing monk, so it's just one of those, one of those things.
Oh, I've been nursing her along since Legion, so.
Oh, I hear you. Yes. All right. So yeah. What else has been going?
Well, the husband had to have emergency surgery, and that kind of threw everything for a loop. And I have to have surgery on my mouth, so it's like, no, everything just went to hell like the first 3 days into January, and I'm like, no, this is not how we're doing this year. No. Please,
yes, no. It's been an interesting start to the year, that's for certain. For
I want to do over. And then I saw a tweet. Was it a tweet or was it on Facebook? It might have been on Facebook. Somebody said, can you believe we're only 2 weeks into January? And I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's not right. And I went and looked at the calendar. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, I know. It's just been interesting. So already
it's been tough.
Yeah.
It's been tough. But I'm trying to get done what I can get done. So we're working on 6 floods right now. Well, we're trying to work on the 6 remaining classes.
Yeah. So go through them for us all, so we know where we're up to. We're coming on this journey with you, obviously metaphorically speaking, but what's the show title? Thanks. Yeah, what a start. Yes, that could mean. I'll write that one down. I'll write it down. I've got it right here. Okay. So tell us about these classes that you've got.
Well, let's see. I probably got my 6 least favorite classes with one exception. So I guess 5. So we've got the warrior, who's around, they're in their early 30s at the moment. Same with the shaman. Shaman, I'm a little bit more comfortable playing resto because I've leveled as resto and rated as resto. So I'm okay with that. I actually love the Instaproc lava burst in the resto spec that you can have happen. That helps so much.
Yeah.
And then I've got the demon hunter. That's a whole nother story there. That demon hunter and I. And then I've got a druid and a death knight and then the monk.
Okay.
So monk's 54 and druid's 31. So I've got a little bit of a level range there, and when I try to level a level a week so I can keep my rested going, it might put me about 29 weeks to finish everyone, maybe, providing nothing goes wrong.
Okay. Alright, it's doable. Apologies, I just realized my father is somewhere outside scratching on the wall for doing something. So if that's coming through as well, like, why not? And while we've got it, hey babe, I have fed Cozy.
Yeah, I figured.
Okay, thank you. Just, while it's all happening, let's just all cover all bases.
That's okay. My mother-in-law's watching football and she yells halfway across the house, so that might come through too. So
excellent. All right. So as you said, your lowest, was the warrior at 31.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Where are you leveling for the warrior?
Oh, let me think for a second. Are they Horde or Alliance? They are Horde. I am in I'm at the Tusk Pools on Zoldazar, the troll zone.
Oh yeah. Yep. Okay. So yeah.
I'm just down the road from Scale Trader Post. Scale Trader Outpost. Well, thank you, kitty.
We are definitely an animal-friendly podcast.
Peabut says hi.
Yes, yes. Say hello, hello. Okay, all right. That's interesting. Interesting. All right.
Yeah, there's two tiers. There's an upper pool and a lower pool, and it's filled with mostly neutral river beasts. There's one quest river beast that sits up by a cave. I don't touch him, and you do have to watch when other people are killing him, because if they don't have him with his head pointed to a tree or a rock, he will charge through them. So you have to make sure you're not in the line of being charged. And then the lower pool, you just have to make sure that you don't get too close to my big ugly friend King Katal, because he's not one I want to mess with. And the other day I had somebody try to disengage fighting with him and run towards me, and I'm like, oh no, son, we're not playing that game. And I had to stop fighting and run mid-fight as well, because I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Do not want.
That's a bit scary, actually. So
that's the first time I had somebody do that. I waited for them to do it, but that was the first time they actually ran right where I was. But he leashed about halfway up the hill to the upper tier, so I was like, okay, that's fine. My mob didn't leash, so I had to keep fighting it, but he leashed, which was the better option.
And I suppose that's, that's the whole mentality of, like, a lot of players, that obviously they don't know that we're on a challenge too. 9 times out of 10, if I'm on Leeta, like my main, and someone's running towards me and I see mobs and I'm like, like, Voidy, go get them. It's like I'll help them, or if I'm running past someone and I'm like, I'll just give them a hand. Obviously, when you're on a challenge too, you're not giving anyone a hand.
I've done that on my main sometimes. If it looks like somebody's struggling to kill something, I'll be like, okay, that's fine, and I don't care as much. But when I'm on my challenger, I'm like, oh crap, what are you doing? Away, go the other way, and then I'm like trying to run with them, and I'm like, no. But the worst part for me is that when I'm in a tight grinding loop that I have set up, which is what I have going with the monk right now, and it's busy, if I'm playing when other people are, I actually have to be aware that I don't have my movements too bot-like, because I don't want people thinking I'm a bot. So I'll start like jumping around and doing stuff that bots don't normally do, just so that they don't think that I'm not an actual player, because I'm like, oh shit. I've been killing the same stuff for like an hour and a half. And they're staring at me and I'm like, no, I'm not, I swear.
I'm just a bloodthirsty. We're just all about killing stuff. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. And it's always somebody from the opposite faction that I can't message, so I'm like, oh, of course.
Yeah. No, it's definitely an interesting way. And I guess the other thing is that when you're playing a normal tune, I know, well, I won't speak for everyone, I'll speak for me, but I know I take for granted the fact that I can just run through things, the fact that I can fly and get hit by stuff, the fact that I can stand in the middle of Ogrima or Oribos or wherever. I can walk away from the computer for 10 minutes and not have to think anything about it, or I'm out in Revendreth and all of a sudden I have to get up and leave the computer because something's happened to Mum, or or my husband, or like something's going on and I have to like just park her and walk away. Whereas you cannot do that on a challenge tune. It's like this constant of not necessarily second guessing, but it's making sure the decisions that you make on a challenge tune are right. Like,
well, I mean, it's definitely Russian roulette,
safe.
Because there's times where I have to do that. I don't have a choice whether I'm on my challenger or not, or something's going wrong. It's a problem, so I have to go. So I try to stay in areas where it's mostly neutral mobs, and I know how far the other ones are going to go, and 9 times out of 10, the times that I'm grinding are later at night when there's not as many people around.
Yeah.
So I've kind of gauged where I'm at, and if I know I'm going to be gone longer than like 3 minutes, then I will just log out where I am and fingers crossed that nothing happens. But I don't always have time to think, okay, let me finish this fight, let me hearth, let me go see what's going on. That sometimes I don't have that luxury, depending on what the emergency is that's going on, whether it's an animal issue or a husband issue or a parental issue. But
exactly.
Some I have a different leeway of time in order to address it, some I don't. So you know, it's like, oh crap, gotta go. But you know, I've shied away from being in different areas. There's actually my grinding area has gotten more and more restricted just because of lessons I've learned as I've gone on and outside factors I've had to deal with. So I mean, I might not be in those areas any longer, but I can tell you where I used to grind and where I grind now. Yeah. But it all depends on how much you're going to be interrupted while you're doing things.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, and I guess that's also a big thing is, you know, IRL, what is going on in the house, in the day today, etc. As I said in the chat room, you know, always log out before walking away.
That's what you should do.
That's what you should do.
Totally what you should do.
Yes, sometimes it doesn't always happen. But
yes,
you know, we have many stories over the years of various challenge players that have, you know, that have had to get up through emergency because something's happened to their other half or something's happened and they've just had to walk away and they've come back and obviously come back to a dead
Yeah, I'm one of those, but yeah, definitely.
Yes.
So, I mean, but that was an extraordinary circumstance. And while I was pissed, I couldn't be that pissed. Actually, it happened twice for the same thing, sort of, but different times. But what was going on was more important than what was going on my screen. So in the grand scheme of things. So while I was mad, I couldn't be that mad. Yeah. But it was just the time lost of it all that I was just frustrated with. But you know, real life is more important and does take precedence over all of it. Exactly. So you just have to kind of take a deep breath and re-roll. That's just all you can do.
Roll up the sleeves and just be like, right, make it again and go it again. And
use the frustration to get to level 10 faster.
Yes, exactly. All right. So, obviously Shadowlands has been out for a while now. Yep. What's been your fondest Shadowlands memory with doing a challenge soon?
So this one was a little tough because Shadowlands has been interesting. I would have to say that it would be the race to max bloodthirsty first one of Shadowlands that ended up evolving between myself and Too Thirsty, Two Shanks. Because we didn't plan it. It just kind of started happening. Yeah. And then we suddenly found ourselves like on 2 hours of sleep trying to race each other. I won't do that again. But that was probably the craziest best memories so far.
Yeah. Nice. That's a pretty awesome memory because it was pretty tight there, so
it was crazy because I'm like, did he update? Did he go to bed? Can I like go take a nap or something? Because I had no idea where he was because we weren't on the same server. We weren't really in communication with each other as to where the other person was. And I was on unrested, and I'm like, this is taking forever. I just want to go to bed. And then I was like, no, we have to get this level. And and you know, unrested in Shadowlands with what I was killing. It was on a disciplined priest. It was taking me like 14 plus hours to get the level in, and I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing? And so it was just he beat me by about half half a level, two-thirds of a level, and as soon as he dinged, I'm like, I gotta go to bed. I can't. So
yeah,
like,
I mean, it was
can't.
tight. It was tight. So, but again, you both did so well, which is amazing. And for obviously, Shadowlands has brought with it so many challenges. So many challenges that we've looked at. Some of them good, some of them, some of them being very interesting, very intriguing. Honestly, who would have thought, when we were doing the testing of alpha and beta, that we would have as many hitting max level, because
beta was ugly.
Beta was ugly.
Beta was ugly.
Yeah,
I didn't think we would have this many irons.
We
Fortunately,
were very
they made
concerned.
some changes to the entrance into Shadowlands, which is the only reason why that happened.
Yeah.
Because we were throwing everything that we had at beta and ripping our hair out, and we're like, I don't think this is gonna happen.
So it's been a very interesting expansion. I keep saying the word interesting. Please don't take a shot every time I say the word interesting. But it's the only word I can think of at the moment.
Yeah, pretty much.
To explain it. It's been intriguing both in good and in bad. So for you, being that you've been leveling out there in Shadowlands content and the new zones and all of that, which zone do you think has been the most unfriendly to a challenge tune? I mean, I know my personal preference, but I've only taken challenge tune to technically to 2 zones, so I'm going off all the zones and going, I'm not taking a challenge tune there. But what about for you? What do you think?
Okay, so this is going to be an extremely jaded answer from someone doing Bloodthirsty. All of them. Honestly, I don't like any of them. I can find something wrong with every single one where I don't like it. Just for me, personally, in the way I play. I know a lot of people like Arden, and no offense to those people, it scares me. The one time I took my one challenger into there, the mobs were patrolling right up to the road. They were crossing the road. They were densely packed. The patrols were 2+ in some areas, and I'm like, oh my god, no. And people were dragging shit left, right, and center, and it was just too dense for me. And I'm like, this is not leaving me a lot of room to bail out if something goes wrong. I'm gonna have too much crap behind me, and B, everybody's just in here like sardines and killing. I'm like, no. Now there might be some spots that are okay, but for me at the time that I was in there and looking around, I was like, oh, deer in headlights, nope, no thanks. Revendreth scares me in certain parts. There's sections where you have a stacking damage increase debuff. And I'm like, oh no, and then you have to have another buff to negate the debuff, and I'm like, well, we can't be doing that. So and there's so many different height levels, it kind of feels like Najatar for me. Trying to figure out what's on what level, and where's the elevator, is this an elevator thing, am I missing a road? I didn't like it. Maldraxxus? Maldraxxus is interesting. It could be a close second go-to, even though I don't like it. There's certain spots where you could probably get away grinding where it's a little bit more open near Theater of Pain for me, but I didn't want to risk it. And at the time, you couldn't get into Maldraxxus. Well, you couldn't really get anywhere aside from Bastion at that time. Now we have a workaround. But the workaround being the scouting map, for those that don't know, for Shadowlands, as a Bloodthirsty, you can have that toy and use it, and then you can fly out to the other zones without doing any other quests. So that's one workaround for that. But at the time, you couldn't really get in there on a Bloodthirsty. But just like even after the fact, just kind of taking a look around and taking stock, there were some areas where it was just so tight. And the way people were running all over, because you don't only have to be aware of what you're doing, you have to be aware of what other people are doing, because
Mm-hmm.
people train mobs through you, and because they don't give a shit. They're not doing a challenge. They don't know what you're doing. They're just, they're going about their business. So I mean, it's kind of overwhelming, unless you have like the weird poison thing that killed Stir when he was sitting in the inn. So that kind of makes me pause about going there, and I'm like, I don't know. Bastion is the yellow grass.
Yeah.
It kills me, because it's like, oh god, I can't find anything. So like, you have to have the large nameplates on, and look for your neutral mobs, and actually walk through on a normal character the grass in some areas, because some areas have invisible foxes that stealth out, and they don't stealth back in until you've walked right into them. And they're a little bit of a pain in the ass to deal with, because then they teleport on either side of you, and it's annoying. But I actually feel like Bastion's the safest area, even though it's the most annoying, because you can't see, and then the yellow grass starts to get to you after a while. But it's better for mob density for me. You don't have that many hostiles in some places crammed in. Like, you've got some space in between to work with. You can see other people coming in the areas that I'm in. And I don't have too much competition in the spot that I'm in right now, so that's a plus. And it's just, you don't have the patrols coming right up onto the road that are hostile. You still have to watch your AoEs, because there are some patrols that travel in packs of 2 and 3 that are neutral. So I mean, you don't want to have an AoE down when they come through. That's just learning how they're running through and managing your spells appropriately. But it just feels a little bit safer, if there is such a thing for a challenger. But I'm loath it, because I've been there so damn much, and I just want to be out of there. But at the same time, it's the zone I know, because it's the zone that we were forced into, and we didn't have an option to head out of it. But I've gotten to where the zone and I can kind of communicate with one another, and this is what I'm doing. You stay over there. I know where you are. I know where your patrol is, and I know it now. So I don't want to throw a curveball in there and go somewhere that I'm not that familiar with at this stage of the game.
Yeah.
So
that is true. No, I think I would have to agree with what Zaya said in the chat room. I think that Maldraxxus is the worst for a challenge toon. I must admit, even when I take my main, when I take Leeta across, that, you've got to watch of the stuff above you moving around. So
there's
a challenge toon, like, there is no way I will take a pacifist over there.
Pacifist, no.
Iron,
Pacifist is definitely going to Bastion as well.
Iron Blood might be okay. We'll see, but there's no way I would head that way on a challenge toon if I did not have to go there. So
I haven't even taken my iron into Shadowlands yet. I've decided that they're just gonna level doing holidays at this point, because no thanks.
The zones definitely are interesting. So but and again, what works for you may not work for me, may not work for others. Personal preference is such a great thing that we can test things. Unfortunately, sometimes the testing things leads to death and then re-rolling, and so it's good to pick brains and to get information to see. Definitely.
Oh yeah, like Fair loves her world quests and her daily quests. I can't stand them, so part of the bloodthirsty in me is like, it's a quest, go away. But like my pacifist, she stayed in Bastion, and she got to 60 in, I think, 2 weeks. If that, under 2 weeks, and that was just from picking herbs and mining lore.
I mean, as Fess says in the chat room, that because Bastion is such a problem for her with seeing that she doesn't go to Bastion and again, but she does love her quests.
Yeah. Oh, I even had times where I was losing the flowers in the grass because the way the flowers are situated, and I do have the outline turned on to see them, but the outline is the same color as the grass, or almost. It's just a teeny bit of a very tiny, slight lighter color.
Yeah.
But I wish that they like made it a different color. But I'll be standing there and I'm looking at my mini map. I'm like, the dot's right here, and I'm like, where is it? And then it takes me like almost 2 minutes to realize that I'm standing right next to it because I thought it was a background flower that was just part of the ground cover.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's right next to you.
I know. Who thought that was a fantastic idea? Blizzard? Seriously? Where's your designer? I slapped them. Like, I did the same last night. Like, I'm standing there and I'm going, it's supposed to be right in front of me. And I'm, and I'm scrolling and I'm like, where the hell is it? And sure enough, it was literally, if I'm standing here, I'm scrolling maybe like 2 meters away from the body. And it was like a foot out from where she was standing.
Plus I'm like playing, I have to take the passives out like after 11 p.m. or midnight because my server's too busy otherwise. So I'm sitting there tired as shit. I'm like, where is it? It's right here, and I'm like, I can't find it. And there were multiple times where I'm like, maybe I should just stop for the night.
Exactly.
It's like the 5th one in a row that I couldn't find. Maybe I just need to go do something else for a while.
Maybe, yeah. All right, so advice. We always, we like to pick the brains of those that have been at this for a while. Our veterans, our mods who are great at with so many challenge zones. So for you, what do you suggest for anyone wanting to try giving a challenge tune a go? What's your advice?
Well, I'd make sure that you've read the rules and start out slow. Don't be too hard on yourself if you don't get this your first time out. Newsflash, hardly anybody does. We have lots of stumbles and face plants and falls off cliffs and drowning. It happens, okay? It takes a while. You gotta get the rules under your belt. You gotta get the muscle memory in your brain of what not to click or what to click, or how to vendor, how not to vendor. And you really have to develop the challenger mode mindset to click that on when you're on a challenger, because it's very different than being on a normal character. Very, very different. So I mean, you can't just go balls to the walls blazing through and you're gonna be dead in like 5 minutes. So you have to tailor the play style to challenger ways. You really should scout out anything that you're not familiar with, any quest you're not familiar with, any zone mobs, oh, it didn't do that before. Well, a lot's changed since we first started this a couple years ago. So I mean, mobs do different things at different levels now. Don't be afraid to ask other players, other challengers, what they do or where they go. Everybody has their own way of doing things that works for them, just because that's how they've tailored their play style to fit with what challenge they're working on. But you might be able to take a look at what they're doing and decide, well, that's not going to work for me, but now I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe I can do this instead. So it might spark an idea of your own to approach it, or it might give you just a different idea of some other options of where you can go. And we've got so much knowledge in the Discord and on the forums that you won't know if you don't ask. So I mean, we are here. Go ahead and ask us. Pretty much.
Exactly. And like Dave says, maybe 274 times out. Yeah. Like it's one of those things. And if you're not going to change your mindset when we always talk about for a challenge tune, you do have to change your mindset if you want to succeed. Now, if you don't want to change your mindset and you want to play your challenge tune exactly like you play a normal tune,
best of luck to you.
Normal tune, exactly. And I mean, I've known people over the years that have done that, and they had fun. That's how they like to play their challenge toon, the chances of them hitting max was always going to be very, very slim because they're not taking precautions. They're not, not to say it's not doable, but I've not seen it. I've not seen it done in all my years. It just seems very, I'm not going to say impossible, because there'll probably be someone who will go prove me wrong.
Yeah.
But, more power to you if you can play a challenge toon like you play a normal toon. I don't think it's possible. I know for me, it's not possible. So yeah, it's but there is. We have a wonderful community. We have so many people with a lot of knowledge. Absolutely. And as much as we like to say, like, ask any question, no question is too silly, because we have new people coming in. We have different expansions. We've got, there is so much within WoW itself, and how you level now to what was 2 years ago is completely different.
Yeah.
So
Completely different.
If you're coming back and trying challenge toons again and you haven't tried it for a few years, well, don't forget, Shadowlands expansion is a completely different experience to what we've previously had with, with BFA, and then before that, with Legion and Wrath. Every expansion has been different, but for us, Shadowlands was probably the biggest amount of changes for a challenge toon. So just, again, ask your questions. We've got many resources that you can pull from and look to, and people's brains to pick. And that's one of the great things about our community, is the sharing of information, which is so very helpful, which is really good. All right, well, Nisey, thank you for sharing your journey and where you're going to be going with your Bloodthirsties. We do wish you all the very best with that journey, because we know there's a lot of killing. A lot.
Oh, I'm actually planning to go in if I actually complete this task that I've been trying to do for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
If I actually complete it, I'm gonna go in and I'm going to take the total mobs killed from every single Bloodthirsty and add them up all together. Just to see how many mobs I've killed.
I was gonna say, we need to hear that number.
Because I'm like, this is going to be interesting. Between all of the different, between the Winds of Wisdom buff and that we couldn't get rid of, and this one being the oldest challenger, and this one probably being the youngest challenger that I've got, and just seeing what that grand total is. And Zaya said that he plays his normal toons, like challenge toons, and I gotta say, I'm to the point now where I barely do any quests when I'm on an alt. At this point, I'm just like killing stuff. I'm like,
no, I still get, if I get on Leeta, like, I'm just like here, there, and everywhere, falling off stuff, that, like, the usual. When I get on my challenge toon, I do get that little bit, well, a lot more, like, what's going on? So
oh yeah, I'll be on a normal, I'm like, oh damn, I died, and I'm like, oh wait, it's okay. Like, it's such a messed up mindset that I now have, and I'm like, oh no. Like, exactly. No, don't delete it, you're okay.
You're okay. Yeah, exactly. All right, so how's your week in WoW been with what you been doing?
With everything? Yeah.
With everything, yeah.
So I managed to get 5 out of the 6 level this week because, time, and I was also working on an outside of WoW project for my my art stream that I've got coming up. I was on a mission, so that took up a tremendous amount of time. So I only got 5 leveled this week. So we got the monk to 54. The druid's now 40.
Okay.
The demon hunter's 36. the shaman is level 33 and the warrior hit 31.
Nice.
And I also got my pacifist hunter to 38, and I believe that's the one from the pacifist contest way back that I still had kind of laying around.
Nice.
Iron I'm gonna be bringing out next week when Elders starts.
God, is it that time? Wow. Oh.
Next weekend.
Wow. Okay. All right. That's crazy. That's
Yep.
Again, this.
I'm paranoid I'm gonna miss the day it starts because of everything else that's been going on. I keep obsessively checking the calendar and wow, when is it supposed to start again?
Yeah.
Because I gotta get the other write-up done, and I'm like, shit.
Dave says, I am 65. Nice, Dave. Okay, well, congratulations. Next best wish for next week's leveling. I hope it goes very successfully.
I'm working on my monk right now for next week, and it's been a little slow. I actually got about 30% in on her level this afternoon, which surprised me. I didn't think I was going to get that far today.
That's okay.
But, you know, she's my slowest one right now, so I'm like, okay, she's going to take a couple of days. I got to walk away.
Yeah. Understandable. Patience. Patience with challenge.
Yeah, you almost need more patience with Bloodthirsty than you do any of it, because I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, because you know during our the show break, I did back off a little bit, and I had them spaced out a little bit differently when I was leveling them. And I'm like, oh well, you know, if we get there, we get there, and now everything happened at once, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. Exactly. No time. That's true. Well, I must admit, I didn't get quite as much done as I wanted to this week. However, there was 2 things I did do, and that was, I did it. I ventured into Shadowlands. But first, I thought, you know, I've got 2 passies. I've got my Night Elf Rogue, which, you know, passy Leeta. She's my first. And I was like, you know what? I'm not taking her through. Not yet. So I got my Tauren Druid, who was sitting on 53, 54. And I thought, you know, if something goes wrong, as much as I will probably be in the fetal position for a little bit, it will not be as bad as if I lose the Night Elf Rogue. So I thought, no, okay, let's just do this. Let's just take her to Shadowlands. So I got on her, used her as a test, thought, right, not a problem, got over there, decided she would go to Ardenweald. Because I thought, you know, once again, Druid, whatnot, don't really know Ardenweald too, greatly. I've been there quite a few times on my mains, but I thought, yeah, I think I'll be okay. I know there's some places to watch. I think I'll just stick around Heart of the Forest, not venture too far, and just kind of stick around that area and see how it goes. So she's about, I'm going to say at least 2/3 through 50, whatever she is, 54. I think she's 54. Anyway, wherever she is, she's over there. I've done the stuff. I've got her there. I got her the Shadowlands professions up with, you know, herbalism, mining, all that kind of stuff. And she's comfy. She's in a tree. She feels like home, so that's okay. So once I got her over there, I was like, okay, all right, it's okay. I can do this. Let's get the Night Elf Rogue. And I must admit, I kind of held my breath the whole time. I was not like, no, it'll be fine. It'll be all good. You know, I've done it with the Tauren, with the Tauren Passy. Everything will be fine. I was still very, very cautious. And I'm just going, please don't go wrong. Please don't go wrong. Oh, and that was the other thing. The Tauren Druid, when I hit to take the first zone and fly, and I went, okay, I'll go to Ardenweald, I'll go hand it in, and as I took off and was flying, I DC'd.
Thanks, internet. Okay, that's not a good feeling.
I was like, this is not good. So, admittedly, I think I flew through, the tunnel once you leave Ouroboros, and it was when you hit the loading screen to actually come into Ardenweald. So I was like, okay, I had my mouse button ready to hit flight form if I, as soon as I came back, and I thought, oh, it's either going to be one of three ways. One, I'm going to come back dead. Two, I'm going to come back landed successfully, whether it's landed successfully in the heart of the forest or landed, sometimes at the next flight point, so to speak, so that I've landed, she's okay. Or three, I come back, and as I come back, that loading screen comes up and your character's falling. So I was ready with flight button or the goblin glider, whichever. In case, but thankfully logged back in, she'd landed in heart of the forest, so I was like,
I have noticed that the DCs have been a little bit kinder lately in the fact that when they happen, and the longer it's taking to get back in, you've already decided that, okay, I'm coming back to a dead character, that's just the way it's gonna be. I had that happen last week, and it's like, I was mid-fight, like the mob had 300 health. I'm gonna be dead when I come back.
Yeah.
And I was just standing there, and I was like, okay, my health was full.
Yeah.
I was just standing there, just chilling out, just waiting, and I'm like, it's been a little weird with the DCs coming back in lately that have just felt a little more gentle. I don't know if they're hitting a reset button or what, but
I don't know why. I don't know why I DC'd, because I wasn't lagging. I wasn't, like, there was no indication. It was just flying, loading zone, loading screen, DC. And I was like, oh, like, normally you get that whole lag and you're sitting there going, I'm going to DC, I'm going to DC, I'm going to DC. Yep, there it goes. But there was nothing. It was literally loading screen, DC. And I thought, oh no, like, this is not good. So anyway, she was fine, and I kind of had already prepared myself that if I lost her, I lost her, and so be it. It is what it is. And when I came back, I was like, oh, yay, she landed, awesome, that's okay, all right. So
time to log out for the night.
Yeah, no, then I went and got the then I went and got the Night of Row, because I was like, right, no, we're just going. If I don't, I gotta grab the bull by the horns, just go. So so I took her over, and I had settled. I was like, right, we're going, get her to Ouroboros, we're going Revendreth. I know Revendreth so well. I don't have an issue with taking her there. And then I mentioned that to both you and Fair, and you're both kind of like, yeah, but did you think about this and this? And I went, no, I didn't think about that. So I'm
afraid of my own shadow on my challengers, so I'm like, oh dear.
So I ended up, and I thought, you know what, I'll go to Bastion. I'm not having two tunes in Ardenweald. That's just a need. So I thought, no, we'll go to Bastion. I'll see how it goes. I've spent a fair bit of time over there. I'll figure it out. And she dinged 57.
Very nice.
So, hi Stir, welcome. Nice to see you, Stirs, here. Yeah, and then I did some laps last night trying to work out where, like, I think it's probably safer for me just to stick paths and delve off paths a little bit to, picking and mining, there's some sections that of course, watching like the flying, like the
Yeah, the
wormlings and
stupid lion things
yeah.
and the snake things. And
So I
there's
think
like my path is kind of limited in there, but it's working. So like it's like you have to go up your Aspirant's Rest, and then I mean there's a good number of nodes near the road that you can kind of get as long as you know where the hostels are sitting.
I did notice that there is quite a few, plus with fishing and things like that. So we hit 57. So I'm like, okay. So nice. I've got them both over there, and you know it's gonna be, obviously we don't play when we're tired. And I think that is
especially not on that one.
Even more so when you're on a pacifist in Shadowlands. So yeah, and I mean they're both zones have got a lot of pros and cons for me. So I'm kind of gonna compare them and see how they work out with both the passies. So we will see how they go. But we're in Shadowlands, so at least you know that's.
I gotta say, I didn't
something.
do much flying on my pacifist in Bastion. I stayed on the road mostly. I was afraid I was gonna hit something that was flying above me.
No, so. I kind of got the gauge of with flying. It's like I'm kind of okay with that, but there are certainly some sections I'm like, yeah, we're not going over there.
Yeah.
And being very careful not to walk into, you know,
into the water, yeah.
Into the water, into the World Quest areas that are, what do you, like the bonus objectives, and, you know, like I was like, pop over here, and then it pops up, and it's like, oh, go and kill Trent, and I'm like, no. Move back.
Oh, yeah, no, I was very particular on where I was. I was able to get through it on Bastion, and it was fine. But I just like I said, I had to be on a certain time of day, and I had to be very, very, very aware of what other people were doing because of prop skills. Yeah,
and I must admit that the only other thing is just again, because the time frame I play on a US server, there's not a lot of people around, which is fantastic, but at the same stage, I don't know with Ouroboros, like, if people can get aggro on it. Over in Heroes Rest, if there's an issue, you know, of being there. So again, if I'm unsure, log out before I walk away, any of that kind of stuff. So just trying to be fully, like, 100% focused on my passy tune when I'm on my passy tune, to be aware and to watch and you know, like, not have my mind being elsewhere, because I find if that's the case, that can get me into trouble.
It's funny you mentioned Heroes Rest, because I have that set as my second hearthing location when I'm out there in Bastion, when I'm grinding below it. And even though I'm hearth there, my greatest fear is not paying attention when I'm in there and going right off the edge, because it's floating up in the sky. So when I'm going down to the stairs to get to the teleport platform to go down to the ground, even though I have flying, there's some hostile flyers that I don't want to deal with, so I just use the teleport pads. I'm like, where's the stairs? And I'm like inching closer to them, and I'm like turning my camera. I'm like, okay, there's the stairs. We're okay. But it's definitely not a city or a quest hub that you can be in and not be looking at the ground and where your feet are and where the edge is, because just no.
I must admit, I kind of have been like right in the center, you know, the center where the quartermaster is, where the forge is. Like, I try and stick around there if I'm like, okay, where am I looking? It's like base myself right in the center, so I don't, you know. And I have got gliders. Every single toon has to have gliders when they've got enough money to be able to afford them. But, you know, there's just sometimes things happen, and you just try and be as prepared. So but anyway, we will see. I've got them both over there, and I kind of think of it as back to being, we're back to we're picking kind of similar. Well, it's kind of similar to Heartlands. It's not, but in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'll go pick flowers for an hour, or I've got some spare time, so let's go venture. And again, it's like, it brings me to a kind of happy place just to be able to go pick flowers. Oh my!
I will say, I did put Crummy Time on my pacifist, and it's the only challenger that I turned it on for them, because I was trying to figure out where I wanted to go to pick stuff, because I had hit 30 and the XP tanked out in Western Plaguelands and Eastern Plaguelands around the lake, and I had ventured into I was like, oh, I'll go to Shulzar, and I'm like, that capped out at 32, silly. And I was like, oh, right. And I'm trying to think, where am I going to go? What did I do with this level? I was like, oh, I think I was doing archaeology. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to do archaeology. I'm like, right, let's go back to Stormwind. Let's turn on Crummy Time, and let's go back to Western Plaguelands, and we're just going to stay there till 50.
Yeah, exactly. As much as I'm probably prepared to go and do archaeology now, like, I was a bit like, I'm a bit over it from, I think,
I have other options right now after that last run of having nothing to do but archaeology. I'm gonna take other options. It's nice
picking flowers, so it's nice. So anyway, we will see how we go. We're over there. We'll see. Anyway, but yeah, that's what I did this week. So at least we're making progress. So yay. Yay. All right. Let me find, where is this bumper? Here it is.
Breaking down news from the world of Warcraft.
All right, we have got some news. Actually, do you want to take these? Because I know you put them in for me. So
I put them in. Let's see. I don't think I read the articles, but I put them in. So there was a big news this week.
Yes.
Where Microsoft Gaming has announced that they are acquiring, or in the process of acquiring, Activision Blizzard in a $68.7 billion gaming deal. The acquisition will probably take a little bit to go through because of regulations and approvals and all of that stuff that needs to happen. But that was something I think a lot of us didn't see coming.
That was real. Yeah, it was one of those things. I woke up, I was getting ready for work, and the Ash, and I think it was Ash or Wingy or Jeppy, one of them had messaged the group to be like, what the hell, did you guys hear this? And it's like 5:30 in the morning. The boys aren't up yet. Like, I'm going thinking, it's not, my first thought was like, have I slept through to April Fool's? Like, that was my first thought, because I'm like, what day is it? No, it's January. And I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, like,
so
when I first saw the headline, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, the whole thing? Like, or just like a different part of the studio. Like, I didn't understand what it meant when I first read the headline. I'm like, I don't know what you're trying to tell me.
Yeah.
I actually had to go in and like kind of skim the article to finally get it to sink in, and I was like, well, damn.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So, and as I excuse me, as I had heard the news, I was doing a vlog that morning, and I had said I still hadn't got my head around it. So I was like, I'm neither against it or for it, because I kind of don't really know how I feel about it. I'm not hating it, but I'm not loving it. I'm just, guess we see how it goes.
kind of in a state of neutralness. Like, well, I don't know what this is really gonna mean. I don't know what they're gonna do, so I'm just gonna see what's gonna happen.
I hope there's improvements. I mean, they badly need improvements.
There is definitely room for improvement to happen.
And speaking of improvements, what about Bobby?
Yes. Yes, so
Bobby's
apparently,
leaving.
according to the statement that was put out from the CEO of Microsoft Gaming on the whole thing, Bobby Kotick is expected to be leaving Activision Blizzard once the acquisition is completed.
Is done. Yeah. So I've linked both of those in the chat for you guys. They will be up on the website with the article as well. So if you want to go and read it, or pop over to Wowhead, obviously, where the news articles are, check them out, because it is pretty big news. I mean, I can remember when Activision took over Blizzard, like, and back then I was kind of like, I'm not happy with this decision.
Yeah, we were all like,
I was never for that decision, and I still stand by that. I don't know about Microsoft. I kind of,
I don't know either.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. So anyway, we guess we see. Fair says she has her fears.
How they handle things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're all just going to be in a wait and see mode, and you know, hopefully it's for the better.
Exactly.
And it doesn't get worse. So
yes.
we'll just have to see what happens.
Say hopefully it shouldn't get worse. It's
got
to get better. But you know, so we will wait and see. All right. We've got, okay, so first off, I have to have apologies on the audio, getting the audio up on the website. It's still not up there. It's been a test of every ounce of my patience to try and get this sorted. It is still not sorted. I'll let you know when it is. So at the moment, if you're wanting to listen to the podcast, probably easiest is probably just watch the video on YouTube.
Yeah.
At the moment, I've got the audio all ready to go, but I'm having issues with FileZilla, with the upload and getting in, and it's giving me a headache. I spent 3 hours going round and round websites yesterday, trying to get the right, and you know, it's not doing what I need it to do.
Yeah, like
so.
I Google searched the error message you gave me, and it kicked me back one option, and I was afraid to give you that option because I'm like, oh, you've probably already done this. And then I was afraid, well, what if it doesn't work and it messes it up further? So I was like, let me just wait to see what you come up with and see what help support tells you to do.
I've got tech. I've got both sides of tech. Anyway, it will be when it will be. I'll let you know. I'm hoping that it will get be able to get sorted sometime this week, but I don't know. I'm back at full time, so, and my hours are crazy time frame, and I'm normally pretty exhausted when I get home because it's a lot more physically demanding. It's a whole different type of job that I'm doing, so not used to it. It's and you know, so again, apologies. It's getting
it's like
sorted.
That
It just
Big
takes
Bang
time.
Theory where like Sheldon has like a stack of papers in his hand and something happens and he's like he's just done and he just throws the whole stack up in the air and they just all fall to the ground.
That's how I feel
kind of what
about
it feels
the whole
like right now.
The whole thing at the moment. I'm ready just to flip tables, but we not yet. So yeah, so we'll see how it goes. The other thing is that we have got a Spreadshirt promo of 15% off everything in the store from the 24th to the 27th. So if you want to get some cute little tote bags or t-shirts or whatever, there's heaps of things. Fair did send me photos, which I had showed you last year, of the most cutest of the things that she bought, with the tote bags and the mugs. They're so cute. That druid, that rusted is, all the designs are just gorgeous. So we've still got the Christmas designs up there if you want something like this. They're there. Go and check it out. But Dad's drilling. Excellent. They know that I've got a podcast on. Like, seriously. They know. They knew. They know. Anyway.
Fantastic.
It is what it is. All right. Let's play. Yep. So yeah, I'm guessing you can hear that because I can hear it. It feels like it's right near my ear.
I didn't hear it too much.
It's right. It's right there. It feels like I'd say he's literally right in that corner there somewhere. So, anyway, everyone say hi to my parents.
Hi.
They're busy. They're busy. All right, let's play the bumper. Here we go.
This just in. It's Chit Chat.
Thank you, Rogue Slayer. All right. Okay, so I don't think we had very much for Chit Chat, but
I didn't see anything.
I had to put in a couple little jokes and puns. So, first one for you guys, because I found this website and I just love it because it's all World of Warcraft jokes. And I was like, yay! So the first one is, why do Restro Druids hate maths? Because they just don't get square roots.
That's cute.
I hope Farah appreciates that one. I was just like, that's so cute. It's so cute. I like that one. Yeah, fair. Alright, and the other one is, why didn't the warrior cross the road? No path available.
I like that one. That one's very nice.
As soon as I was like, yep, I've got to say that one. Okay, Tiber's got one. Stolen joke of the week. Apparently, refusing to go to the gym is not a form of resistance training. Thank you, Tiber. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Alrighty. Anything else that we needed to go on? Hang on, going back through. Microsoft bought, cow paint. Microsoft bought Bethesda. ESO hasn't changed much. Wait and see. Okay, Stir says, if nothing else, Microsoft will likely keep existing game deployment support for at least a year or more, if for no other reason to get back some of their investment. They spent a lot of money.
They did spend a lot of money.
You know, if I had a lot of money, a lot of money, that I would go buy it. Maybe one day. I would. Just saying, just letting, you know, that's something that I would be totally into. I'd be like, Leeta purchases Blizzard. Get rid of Activision. Let's go back to just being Blizzard Entertainment. That's what I want. Anyway, you know, that's just, I should put dream sequence right here, like do. Okay, Leeta's delusional dream sequence right there. Yeah. Alrighty. I've done that. What was it? I've done that. I'm disappointed it didn't count. We understand, Tiber. Thank you for that. I love it. Very cute. I'd lifetime sub if you bought Little Blizzard. Hey, look, if that was the case, like, you know, all my friends, like, lifetime member, just done. Stop making promises that won't happen later. Be like, you can have lifetime sub. You can have lifetime sub. You can have. I'd be like Oprah. I'd be like Oprah of World of Warcraft. That would be amazing. I
make a lot of friends real fast.
I bet. Alright, I think we have got into the leaders speaking crazy speech. So let's do some wrap-ups. So how about we do a thank you to our Iron Elites, which should be all up to date. So Nisey, can you take that away for me, please?
Sure. We would like to thank the Iron Elites. You guys support the challenges in ways that you really don't quite understand how much it means to us. So, we would like to thank Aleandris, Awesome Trousers, Boz, Marcel Chupa, Dave DeHooker, Execute, Fair, Gaston Grandnagus, Chris W., Lauren Rabar, Leeta, Mr. Bright01, Mrs. Rock Guru, me, Rud Stir Stone, Tiber, aka Tiber, Winima, Zaya, and Zeptimus.
Yes, so thank you. And Dave, I did change your name on the website too. It cracks me up. Alrighty, so again, thank you guys. Heart you all for that. I'd like to say from Stir and myself, obviously, I know I say it every week, but for those of you don't understand what the mods mean to us, in particularly me, cause life, time zones, all of that, to have this bunch of people looking after stuff when I'm at work, when I'm asleep, when I'm doing all the things. So I greatly appreciate all of them very, very much in all the things that they do. So to Awesome Trousers, Boz, Execute, Fair, Chris, Nisey, and Zaya, thank you. You don't understand how much that it means. It's huge. It really is huge. You all get lifetime subs if I buy Blizzard. Okay? Lifetime. Like yeah. Anyway, to our code wardens, thank you. They've been answering questions I've been throwing at them, trying to sort things. So thank you for that. I do appreciate that. To everyone who's given of their time to be here in the chat room, thank you to our Twitch chat for spending some time. It's just, thank you very much. When anyone is listening to this, when it gets up onto the website, thank you for listening to the podcast. We do appreciate it so much. Now, I will be back next week, which will be Saturday, January 29 at 7 p.m. Eastern. Nisey, thank you for joining me this week. It's been really good to catch up with you. So can you please tell everyone where they can find you, where they can get in contact with you, please?
Sure. So we've got Discord, and it's going to be Nisey with phonetic spelling in parentheses, Nisey, hashtag 4863. You can contact, if you need to email me, you can get a hold of me at NiseyBGN@gmail.com. I do now have an Instagram. I finally got it to work.
Oh, yay!
So that is
okay. I'll have to go find you.
NiseyBGN. I've got like a portfolio started of art stuff that I'm putting up there.
Excellent.
We've got the Twitch channel that we stream a few days a week on. Sometimes there's some bonus unannounced streams, but there's a little bit of WoW, there's a little bit of other games, there's a little bit of art, all the things. I've got the Twitter at NiseyBGN, and we have the YouTube channel where all of my live streams and a couple of other side projects are archived, and that is also NiseyBGN.
Excellent. Alright, and don't forget, we will have all the information up on the website, which is wowchallenges.com. You can find all the information for all of the things that we have, which is Discord, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube channels over there. When the podcast is properly able to be uploaded, you will find it on Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher Radio. At the moment, not so much. So go check out YouTube. If you want to listen, you can listen and not watch the video. Just listen to it. That's fine. Otherwise, if you've got any questions, any jokes, any tips or tricks, please send me an email, which is podcast@wowchallenges.com. Now, I have all the information, which if you want to find me on Discord, I'm Leeta, hashtag 1726. Kind of sounds like a town, like it should be a town. We have 1770 here in Queensland, up the coast. So that's what I'm probably thinking of it. But Leeta hashtag 1726 on Discord. LeetaWow@gmail.com is my own personal if you need to get in contact with me. Obviously for the show, podcast@wowchallenges.com. You can use either of them, guys. Like, I don't mind. If you've got to send me one to my LeetaWow Gmail, that's fine. Whichever one, send it through. I'm LeetaWow on most things. Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, I'm still Leeta. And if you want to check out, I changed my YouTube. So I'm now Kym Loves. I know, spoiler, my name's Kym. I know, crazy, right? Kym with a Y. Do not spell it with an I. Okay? Spent all my life. It's Kym with a Y. So yes, I do my vlogs over there. This year is all about the vlog. I'm vlogging this year. Wanted to get into it. It's also a very big year. We're turning a big 5-0 this year. Crazy, I know, crazy. So I figured, you know what? Dad agrees. Even Dad agrees because he's tapping the wall. I thought I'd do something. So it's a journey. It's a journey of learning. There's baking, gaming, all the things over there. So if you want to check that out, go right ahead. Yeah. So that's it, really. All right. Last thank yous. Who have we got?
Okay, we would like to extend a very big thank you to Mr. Bright01 on our intro, and you can find him on Discord as Mr. Bright01.
Absolutely, we appreciate, and we also, again, please pass on to him. We hope he is recovering well, and you know,
yeah, we really check up on Monday. So
good.
We'll see how things are going.
We do pass all the well wishes on to him. From all of us, because you know it was a little crazy for him and for you.
Yeah.
So we do appreciate that. Also, I have to say a big thank you to my husband for helping me with the outro. I do appreciate that greatly. For doing the voice for me. He's got a good voice. I like his voice. Anyway, I might be biased.
I would hope so.
I might be biased, you know. But yes, so appreciate him helping out to get that done. So, which you will hear in a minute. Other than that, again, Nisey, we wish you all the very best with the leveling of your bloodthirsties. Thank you for taking us on a up-to-date journey of how that's going. Do appreciate that.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. And to chat room, again, thank you for hanging out. Please, everybody, stay safe both in and out of game. We will be back here next week. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
The WoW Challenges podcast is a World of Warcraft gaming podcast. Produced by Leeta, copyright 2022. Portions of this podcast belong entirely to Blizzard Entertainment. Music used for the show belongs to Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com as well as from bensound.com. No copyright infringement is intended.
Alright, did the outro do the chat room might be able to tell me?
Yeah, I couldn't tell through Discord, but
yeah.
I know last week's it did. It was on the YouTube.
I don't know, I had a look at the settings and there's nothing to say it should loop, so I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Outro sounded fine. Stress is loud and clear. Thank you, Tybrid.
I don't know if
appreciate
the echo
that.
was just there last week.
Maybe.
Unless my ears are just that sensitive and I'm the only one that heard it, it's possible because
Yeah.
nobody else said anything. So I was just like,
I
that
don't
sounds like
know.
a stadium echo on that.
No. Anyway, I mean, it sounds fine. In mine, I didn't do anything different. But anyway, all good. All right, show titles. Here we go. Nisey, have you got one? We've got the What a Start from Zaya. I've got Tiber says definitely room for improvement. Have you got anything that you...
Zaya's was good. I don't have one for myself. I kind of like both of them.
They're both good. Yeah. Anyone else got anything they want to add? We'll just give it a few seconds and we'll see. Really, like, it's a little...
Can we combine them, or is that too many words? Can we go...
It'll be too big.
Big? Okay.
Yeah, it's like show titles have to be very restricted. It's a pain in the neck, but you know, it is what it is. That was one of the things Stone always said. You gotta keep it, you know.
How about we go
many.
room for improvement?
Room for improvement. Yeah, we can fit that. That should be fine. Excellent.
Okay, that's fine.
Room for improvement. Excellent. All right. Okay, guys. Well, again, have a great week. Take it easy. All of those things. And we'll be back next week.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to cut the stream. Bye.
Bye, guys.